Hi everyone, welcome back to the stream. It is once again me, Corbin, your host, and welcome back to Warhammer 40k to Rogue Trader. Sorry for being a little bit late. I had a couple of things to take care of, but without further ado, let's get back to the game because I believe today we are leaving this place.
I
Now,
always
now,
keep my
guys, don't go.
options open.
Without you guys, I leveled up. We are now. Let me just show you. We're now exemplar. All of us, it's given us new things. I changed a couple of things, but let's go into the webway. I have no idea how the world inside the webway should be. Actually, now that I think about it, if you could even call it world, but I mean the landscape. Oh,
With the
okay.
physical horrors of Camorra behind them, a long and arduous journey possible only with the help of a Xenos guide lay ahead for the rogue trader and her party. From one strange destination to the next, through unknowable environments, the mere sight of which could drive one to madness.
Oh, yeah, that's the guy. I don't remember the name again. What am I even looking at?
Despite the challenges, they managed to escape the labyrinthian webway and find their way back home.
Where are we now? I suppose we are on Janus, aren't we? Yeah, I got it. I'm too good at this. Oi, who are you lot? You're not bandits, are you? And chumming around with inhuman scum, no less. Be gone, you lanky freak! I compel you with Saint Cognitus' name, with Saint Nicomedes Kepha's name, with Saint Drusus' name. Is this monkey possessed or simply mad? Mm-hmm. Blessed throne, you're joshing me, her ladyship. In these here backwards, what an honor, uh, big old honor this. Okay. I'm just a lowborn, a small, humble man. I've only ever seen your lustrous visage on the holy icons in the temples of the capital. You've been to the capital, okay. So who are you? I'm a scout, your ladyship. I wander these woods. I test the soil. The tech priest told me, once 1,000 steps you have walked, thrust the mystical probe into the soil, say a prayer, and then press the Smaragdin seal. Offer three prayers to the emperor, then press the ruby seal. Thus will the probe test the land and tell you what minerals dwell therein. What do people of Janus say about my abduction? What's that? Did some rotter abduct you? Who could perpetrate such villainy? Stealing her ladyship, the nerve! We ain't heard nothing here on old Janus. How are things in the colony? I won't shame myself by complaining. We live thanks to the God Emperor and your ladyship. We pray for your health every day. Our new masters, the Ultraquisitors, they're a dignified bunch. They fancy the learned type, though, and no good ever comes from scholars. But on the upside, they are paying you thrones for your service. Can you believe it? I hadn't seen a throne in my whole life, and they are giving us two for every month's work. There's this plague around on Janus, though. Makes your hair fall out, your skin go pale, and your voice disappear. Turns average emperor-faring man people into right freaks, scum of humanity. Uh, what call folks like that wretches? We call folks like that. Scary to look at. Better to put them down. Well, we do, little by little, with poison. Is the governor well? Can't say I have the foggiest. We've never even heard the governor's name, but it still beats living under that cursed heretic Vistenza, the bloodsucker. I need a shuttle and some means of contacting the astropathic wire, so I can summon my void ship here. Yeah, Jeffy, your ladyship, please be welcome to our flying ferry. It's right yonder in the brush. It's also where our expedition's Vox Wizard is staying. Will your capital offer protection? I do not wish to be changing one prison for another. Will there, will that other chatty mug be flying to the capital with your ladyship? He's got an awful big mouth. He looks like trouble. Yes, the Synod is coming with me as a guest. Oh, this won't end well. With guests like those, better grab them by the floppers and to the pyre. Bird them right quick. I mean, yeah, that's for the guy. Come on, I'm so curious to see how the story will go now. I mean, where the story will go now, not how. I mean, they both make sense. Whatever. Oh, there we are, back on the ship. Welcome to the bridge, Lord Captain. Like the rest of the crew, we are overjoyed by your return and thank the Emperor for it. Yeah, I mean, I imagine seeing a space marine can be interesting. But Mazrai, on the other hand, could be problematic. Shreen, light of my eyes, I am overjoyed to see you among us once more. Truly, the Exalted One is merciful for showing you the way back home. I hope all the Ashmags who left us to languish without our Lord Captain have already become food for the warp demons. Uh, I do hope we will get a chance to have a conversation in private soon. For now, however, I dare not steal any more of the Rogue Trader's precious time. Lord Captain, I am so glad to see. What? Lord Captain, I'm so glad to see you. I nearly lost it when you up and disappeared on me. I was getting by on stimulants and recaf. I barely slept, all so I could keep listening to the whispers for any clue on how to find you. The only other time I felt so powerless was when Lady Theodora. Pardon me, Lord Captain, I am talking nonsense. First off, how much do you know about my abduction? Not much, Lord Captain. All contact with your party was lost shortly after the supposed pirates boarded the ship and abducted your companions' kinspeople. We immediately sent shuttles with boarding parties to your aid, but we didn't find anyone on the ship save for the crew, who had all their who had all either been butchered or driven insane. Yeah. Since your ladyship's body was never recovered, we hoped against hope that you were still alive. Alas, even our most alert auger operators never spotted anything suspicious, and thus our ignominious failure put you in dire peril. Then we inquire what happened to your ladyship. Yeah, let's go with the third one. Death to the enemies of the Von Valanches. Show us the culprits, and we'll tear the heads off the lot of them, and then stack them next to your throne, Lord Captain. This is so touching. Where was my ship all this time? At an officers' council, we decided to take the ship to Footfall, where one can hear the gossip of the entire expanse. Our agents tirelessly searched for information about your ladyship. Had we heard even a whisper of where you were imprisoned, we would have immediately launched a rescue expedition. While you were away, Lord Captain, we took every effort to find you. That resulted in a number of modifications to the ship that have significantly upgraded it. Thanks to a favorable deal made by this team, the High Factotum, the ship is now equipped with state-of-the-art auger systems and direction finders from Kalagamma. Yeah, let's have some celebration. We begin at once, Your Ladyship. Okay. Lord Captain, the senior officers will report to you shortly. In your absence, we received a number of osteopathic messages and dispatches that demand your attention. Well, of course, Nomos. Hello. Nomos have come to welcome you back. We sense that we sense that a great deed has been done, a vivid imprint on existence. You did something very important. What was it? I escaped a dark city of the Xenos and showed them mercy. Uh, it suits you. What we see in you, light and connections, without the urge to destroy. Did Damos say it correctly? Uh, yes. Damos have a poor understanding of the concept of servitude. We must reflect. We must go now. We will come to speak with you later. We felt sadness when we could no longer communicate with you, and we were worried about your fate. Okay. Claire, we need to talk. I expected that. When we were in Kamarag, I allowed myself to get carried away. That place, it affected us all. What I'm trying to say is, if the Lord Captain believes that overly close contact with an agent of the Inquisition will have a detrimental effect on her reputation, jeopardize her image as the God Emperor's chosen, I will respectfully accept her decision. Are you trying to end things with me? No, but I am aware that with Kamara behind us, passions have cooled, heads have cleared. Continuing this may not be what you want. I hate doing this, but I want to do the romance with Jay, not with him. Of course. Thank you for your answer, Lord Captain. That's who? Okay. Okay, that's the factotum. Your Ladyship, I must report highly compromising information about a member of your retinue, namely Mistress J. Haydari, who it turns out is nothing of the sort but a commoner, a fugitive from the law, and a deserter from the Imperial Guard. I have solid evidence to prove it. I want to know the details. I may have overlooked some nuisances, but I have solid evidence that the person whom we presently know as J. Haydari served in the 19th Ifrit Regiment and was identified as the perpetrator of numerous instances of theft and smuggling, as well as uh, desertion. Sorry, and this individual is not of noble birth, but of the lowest origins. How did you come to know this? In your ladyship's absence, the person whom we presently know as J. Dari made a concerted effort to find you. After contacting all the cold traders in the sectors, Haydari approached an individual by the name of Mercy, a highly influential and infamous figure in the Casbala Commission. He was paid an eye-watering sum directly from your own coffers. Damn it! Fearing that the predatory interests of the Casbalica would pose a threat to your coffers, I began my own investigation. It was entirely reasonable to suspect collusion of some kind between Haydari and Mercy, and so my suspicions were confirmed. The two were connected. It was from Mercy's associate that I acquired the compromising intelligence on Haydari. This evidence must have been controversial. It's all here, Your Ladyship. Official records from the Administratum, attestations from the Departum Militarum, and much more besides. I'll have to discuss with Jay. Shocked me, didn't you, you little wannabe quester? Don't miss a thing, your servants, Claire. And they are sneaky as too. They'll climb up Grok's arse to find out what they want to know. I think we need to talk about your past. Only if this scumslings is joke.
Well, your ladyship, ask away. I'll tell it like it is. I'm not going to try to wriggle out of it.
Yeah, did you ever once tell me the truth?
Not once, if you can believe it. By the way, Shireen, I'm not really a princess. I'm filthy, underhive scum, and I've been lying to you the whole time. I would have been flung out of your bed so fast, it would take my scream a few seconds to catch up.
Why do you tell me the truth?
For the same reason that anybody lies. I want people to like me. I want to attract them, not repel them.
Yeah.
Really? And you are very, very strange. And I am very lucky. Praise be to the Exalted One.
So tell me your real story.
So what do you want to hear, Shireen? A children's tale about a beautiful princess? A ballad about a queen of thieves? How about a new story, Shireen? Once upon a time, there was a little girl who lived on a sand-covered lump of rock. And the core of that rock contained untold riches for servants of the Imperium. The girl scraped out those riches with her little hands, breaking her back and coughing up her lungs, on behalf of people who had never clapped eyes upon her, and who would never know her name. She did this every day until she turned 16. And
Mm-hmm.
then his servants came and drafted the girl into the 19th Ifrit Regiment. Can you imagine? Of course, the regiment was wiped out on its first sortie. But the girl survived. The Exalted One protects. So what was next? Years serving in the Astra Militarum, just a shitload of hard labor, and fighting, and deals, and shady connections, and new opportunities. But everything in this world ends sooner or later, Shireen. The now not-so-little girl went and fell in with the Kasbalika. She saved up a little gold, and she even indulged in excess from time to time. Until living the good life almost cost the little girl her head after her patrons got caught in an internal investigation between the Officio Prefectus and Departamento Munitorum.
Mm.
So the girl ran as fast as her little legs could carry her, until her eyes and the beams of fortune brought her to the expanse. A shitty story, all things considered, Shireen.
Okay. Do you have a family?
The folks on Footfall are my only family, Shireen. The trickster twins and the rest of the rabble, plain-talking and loyal as dogs. And sometimes as dull as the pommel of a worn-out blade.
So you used to be in the Imperial Guard.
Corporal Haydari reporting for duty, ma'am. I've had enough of the Astra Militarum shit to last a lifetime, Shireen. And my body's collected enough souvenirs from run-ins with Xenos and heretics to last 2 lifetimes. Except when it comes to the Guard, there's no such thing as used to be. That wretched life sank its claws into me good. But that also means I remember what it's like to be a small, shaking, insignificant pawn. And that's why I appreciate what I have now, all the more.
Mm-hmm. How did you get involved with the Kasbalika?
What? You think it's difficult? Once me and my fellow guardsmen snuck into the upper city in search of a good watering hole, where the high and mighty of that world congregated. Another time, our regiment was sent to defend the tallest spires on a hive world. And I had an epiphany. I saw how the other half lives. And by half, I mean the ones born with a diamond spoon in their mouth, instead of an entrenching shovel rammed up their arse.
Fair enough.
My eyes were open to the truth, Shireen. The Imperium is full of opportunities, even for people like myself. The trick is knowing whose palms to grease, whose boots to lick, whose throat to squeeze, and whose arses to kick. I was very popular with everyone in the guard command, you see. I'd procure things for them, whatever they wanted. And so the Kasbalika took notice.
Okay. That explains the long game plan, but what about the hand?
It was orcs. Not everything I say is a lie, Shireen.
Oh, I see.
Whoop the fu- Never mind.
Did you look for me? Were you hoping to save me?
It's not as if I could just abandon you. Even smugglers have principles and feelings. Unfortunately, all I managed to do was spend a pile of your trons without anything to show for it. None of the operatives who do business with Xenos knew where to find him. Not even Mercy. I shouldn't have reached out to him. He helped me move to the Expanse and set up business here a long time ago. But I liked it better when he was safely in my past.
Mm-hmm. What's your new persona?
Are you worried I'm going to start spitting on the deck and shriveling your officers' ears with my foul tongue? Don't be, Shireen. I much prefer being seen as a princess rather than a deserter. I'll continue to play the part in front of the others, but you wanted to talk frankly, so I've dropped the act.
Okay, I think we covered everything. Return to your duties.
Sir, yes, sir, your ladyship, Shireen. I'll be here, all primed and ready to go.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Now then, Lord Captain, shall we get to business? We have a number of items to go over. Why is Abelard always with his blade drawn? Like, what the hell? The expanse is in flames, your ladyship. Squadrons and smaller groups of despicable Drukhari radar systems. The cult of the Final Dawn has emerged in full force, wreaking havoc everywhere. We've heard the rumors of the fall of Essential's Pride, House of Chorda's world, an outrageous sacrilege given how abundant and inexpensive Promethium is there. Strife has broken out between House Winterscale and House Chorda. Chorda reigns everywhere. Only the esteemed Lord Inquisitor is trying to fight it. What? The Inquisitor is trying to fight? What? Concentrating all available forces at footfall, tightening, to tighten them into a fist to smash the rampaging heretics and Xenos vermin. What kind of Xenos are attacking the Expanse? Drukhari, your ladyship. Their squadrons, both large and small, are invading the Expanse, unleashing carnage on planets, taking captives by the thousands, and attacking ships. It is as if something has poked their nest, if you will. Yeah, I think I know the reason. And now they are lashing out. How fare my worlds? The heretics' malicious acts make it difficult to maintain astropathic contact to the colonies. The cult of the Final Dawn strikes everywhere, and their sleeper agents are active on every planet. On Phoebus 6th, mutiny was crushed after a group of newly arrived prisoners succumbed to blasphemous propaganda. But other worlds stand firm against the onslaught of the enemies of humanity and do not succumb to their pernicious influence. So, Savior Calcazar led the defense. Exactly. The esteemed Lord Inquisitor Calcazar declared himself commandant of the current expanse and issued orders to requisition troops. He made Footfall his base of operations, and as it was the most logistically convenient point. From there, his fleet strikes through the uh, throughout the expanse, destroying the forces of the Cult of the Final Dawn and Abominable Tricari. He may be all that currently stands in the way of the expanse being turned into ashes. When heretics laid siege to Euphrates II, hallowed forge of the Connaissance fleet, the Lord Inquisitor sent an enormous force. Now, they and the explorator squadrons recalled from the front lines stand together against the heretics in the battle for the sacred planet. Yeah, what's the problem between Incendia and Caligas? When the esteemed Lord Inquisitor called upon the rogue traders to join his forces, her ladyship Incendia Chorda heeded the summons, while his lordship Caligus Winterscale ignored it. Rumor has it that his refusal was defiant in manner, and served as a pretext for Lady Chorda to declare her war on Winterscale. Winterscale's ships are being haunted, and his worlds occupied under the pretense of compelling them to submit to the Imperial Creed. Surprisingly, for all his love of fighting, Winterscale is in no hurry to defend his domain. According to intercepted astropathic messages, he and his retinue are currently on Quetzaltemur, hunting down a Xenos fleet, Eldari, by all appearances. Is there anything else I should know? There have been other minor developments, if you so wish. I will gladly bring you up to speed on the bridge. I would not want to take them. Sorry, I would not want them to take any time away from this occasion. Okay, report received. Lord Captain, allow me to make a request, a personal one. While you were away, Zachary Wazitz received an astropathic message from Dargonus. It concerned my family. The Wazarians have been accused of betraying House von Valanches. What? How is that possible? I cannot comprehend it. The Wazarians have served the Rogue Trader dynasty loyally for generations. This is hard to admit, but I am simply crushed by the news. The accusations were leveled by or on behalf of Drivestems, the Governor family. Under normal circumstances, the investigation would not have required your involvement. My entire family would have been. But being of noble stock, the Wazarians are entitled, under an ancient custom, to petition for a Rogue Trader's personal protection once in a generation. Your personal protection, Lord Captain. Do not deny us that honor. I implore you. Abelard, what if your family is guilty? Then the traitors will accept their due punishment. I have never relied on my position as an immunity guarantee, and I will not even try to sway your decision, as long as it is fair and balanced. Tell Zachary Weiss to send a message to Dargonus saying that I will personally take part in the investigation. Will do, Lord Captain. Oh, hi dear. Thank you for agreeing to hear me out, Lord Captain. Here's the deal. After all that happened recently, the voices in my head suddenly flared up and started gabbling worse than before. Don't get the wrong idea. I'm handling them just fine, but I think I know of a way I can get them to settle down a bit. I keep having the same vision over and over again. I'm walking down a corridor, and there's this door at the end, and I just know that right behind that door is blissful silence. All I've got to do is reach out and open it. So I touch it with my fingers. I can feel the cold, rough metal. And then I suddenly snap out of it and always find myself staring at the wall in some compartment or other. I look behind me, and all the doors on the way are open, but I have no memories of how I got there. Lord Captain, I'll cut to the chase. Please, help me find that door. I'm not joking. This is a matter of life and death. My gut tells me that it's my last chance to deal with my powers, and if I don't, yeah, I have a question. What do you think is behind the door? I have no idea. Maybe it's some incredible implant for the tech priest's secret stores, or I don't know, a serum kept in the Inquisition's vault. There's such a thing as archaeotech, right? Plenty of it lying around. Maybe some of it could help me. Do your visions contain any clues on where to start looking? Vague ones. I think I can hear the muffled cries of some weird birds, and my head is sweating like it's somewhere hot. I'm surrounded by rock concrete, your everyday Imperium stuff, except it reeks of burnt flesh, fried cables, and chemicals. Sorry, that's about it. Nothing more concrete. But I think we can. Sorry, I think if we get close enough, I'll sense it immediately. Is the door you described similar to the door your whispers come from? No. Well, I don't know. It feels different. The one from the visions feels very, I don't know, real. I can even touch it. It's definitely not an illusion. It really does exist somewhere. And trust me, neither of us want to open that door, the whispering one. Mhm. Oh, it's really not. I'm sure you've heard stories about how people try to lock psychers abilities away for good, and how those psychers would then eventually go insane and explode into little pieces. But if there's a way, no, not to shut my door completely, but to make it so that a tiny little crack remains. Now that's a different story. I can just feel it. If we find this thing, whatever it is, it will be all right. What if it's a trap? No way, it can't be. Whatever. I'll go alone if you like. Just please help me get there. No more questions. Yeah. Yes, Lord Captain. I'll prove to you that I deserve a place aboard this ship. As soon as I sense we're closer, I'll let you know right away. There's gonna be a talking stream, isn't it? Sorry, let me answer a message real quick. Okay. Uh, the Exalted One bless the house of Von Valancius for your largesse of spirit, Shireen, and thank you for deigning to speak with me. Here's the thing, Shireen. My network of trade representatives has been stretched a little too thin recently, like a chiffon dress on a whore. Supplies are all over the place. Orders aren't being fulfilled. Clients are kicking off, and not without reason. And revenues plummeting. And if that wasn't bad enough, my guys running things from Footfall have been incommunicado recently. I don't know that word honestly. Uh, and an astropathic message has finally come in to tell me why some Ashmag or Ashmags, Thrones might them, has captured my gang, and they're threatening to kill every last one of those hard grafting whelps if I don't do what they want. And they only want one thing: my Mercatum Tabula Officiale in exchange for my gang's lives. But I'm not giving up my certificate for anything, and nor am I going to leave my guys high and dry. That's why I'm begging you. I'm begging for your help and protection, Shreen. If I have to step into a cage of hyenas, I'd rather do it with a lion at my side. Taliban did not say who sent the message. Shreen, you know yourself that all this astropathic chit-chat is nothing but a stream of images, thoughts, intentions, nothing concrete, but I don't need the name of the sender. I already know. I can smell Falco's stench all over this. Or else it's blood I'm doing. This is just that damned Ashmag style. Has he take him? Could be a bluff. It could. It could, Shreen. But I've been missing the familiar stench of the docks and Darling Octi and their bar, and even the stony gaze of the Exalted One that watches over you whenever you are on footfall. I'm homesick, you see. The Exalted One helps those who help themselves, Shrine, and I don't want to risk the lives of my people. When we reach football, I will help your associates. I look forward to that day, Shrine, and praise be to the Exalted One for bestowing such a miserly portion of haughty indifference upon your heart. Who's next? Henrix. Claire? I apologize for barging in unannounced. I have received news that I must discuss with you face to face. You may recall that I mentioned that Achilles' calendar was transferred into my remit by a colleague. The colleague in question has contacted me. She requires my immediate assistance. Who's this colleague? Emelina Lichtenhart, sage to the Lord Inquisitor. Tell me more about her. Who is she? An acolyte who was assigned a different range of objectives in the Cronus Expanse. Throne taking. I am still trying to hide information from you, even when I am asking for your help. Emelina is a sage, a unique acolyte of the Inquisition who can absorb huge amounts of knowledge and store it in her own memory more securely than any data crypt. She entered the Lord Inquisitor's retinue before I did. Talking to her is a strange experience, but that is barely scratching the surface of who she is. Emelina is an incredible scholar, an expert of the forbidden and the illicit, and of course, she is a loyal servant of the throne. What do you mean with that? Since birth, Emelina has been different from other people. Specialists from the Inquisition enhanced her natural gift of hypermnesia. Uh, there are certain procedures that can be done. She creates separate blocks of memory, which she can then lock under a certain code, under code word, or even overwrite with new information. She can organize them. She can organize her mind like a normal person arranges boxes on a shelf. One box might contain information about a recent mission in the crisis, other the latest decrees of Lex Imperialis, and other her own childhood memories. This level of compartmentalization might seem somewhat insane to the untrained eye, but it is the price one must pay to turn an ordinary servant into a useful tool of the Inquisition. Yeah, what does that entail? Emelina carries knowledge that is forbidden to common servants of the Imperium. She carries this knowledge within herself, and as it cannot be entrusted to logs or coadjutors. I said before that acolytes of the Inquisition must shoulder heavy burden to come into contact with things that can penetrate and corrupt the soul. For sages, this is an especially trying ordeal. Emelina's hypermnesia has been enhanced so that she now remembers everything she sees, however briefly. And after many years of service, she has examined and seen enough to become an unrivaled expert in this field. Yes, Emelina is a worthy acolyte and an invaluable tool in the Inquisitional's Inquisitor's arsenal. I admire her traits and talents. Okay, what was her message? Amelina's message is incomplete and distorted. It is impossible to make sense of every word. The only thing we know for certain is that an acolyte of the Inquisition is asking me to go immediately to Photon Fourth, a remote planet in her remote planet. In her message, she seems to be requesting either military support or help with an evacuation. But whatever precipitated this request, Emelina would not make it if it weren't absolutely necessary. I know a rogue trader has more than enough other matters to deal with. Nevertheless, I would like to officially request the Lord Captain's assistance in dealing with this issue. I have no authority to demand anything from House von Valanches. Therefore, I am confining myself to a request for the sake of the Coronis Expanse and the Imperium. Lord Captain, the Rogue Trader may be in a position to challenge the Inquisition's authority. However, their soul, mind, and actions. But the Rogue Traders, astropaths, and Vox officers? Hardly. Yeah. For avoidance of leaks, the details of the objectives of the specific acolytes shall remain a secret. Uh, all I can tell you is that the primary threat that Amelina was dealing with in the Kronos Expanse was Xenos. In particular, Drukhari raids on distant systems. Sage is ideally suited for gathering data about the chronology of this problem. And finding sorry guys, I'm really sorry about this. And finding the appropriate methods of combating it. As for what Emelina is doing on Python 4 specifically, I don't know. I don't even know any details about about the world itself. Only that there are humans there. So either it has been colonized or a garrison has been established there. The cult of the Final Dawn may have. The cult of Final Dawn has been my top priority here, and my investigation has given me no cause to turn my attention to that planet. Sorry, I will not read that much now because as you can hear, I'm having a bit of problems, breathing. Mm-hmm. Okay. Okay, good. Okay. Still had all your right, heretic spawn, but you will never leave this ship unscathed. Uh, what's going on? How long are you going to tolerate this filth on your ship, Claire? This foul traitor who has already dragged you in the darkness once and who almost left your protectorate without its sovereign. Rogue trader. Has Eldari heresy clouded your judgment? Treachery always means death, either for the traitor or for the one betrayed. You almost died in Comrade. Your retinue. You know what became of them. Is it not high time that justice was done? Now this is a fine spectacle. The inhuman gets what she deserves. Let us all watch and laugh. Your wonderful path has led you into a rather thorny situation, cousin. You refused to beg for mercy in Kamarok, and now you will have to lick the boots of Monkey. Silence, Sinus. Your turn will come. Anyone else want to share their thoughts? The enemies of humanity have no place among humans. You know this. But that is far too merciful for a sentence. What I endured was far more terrible. The heinous behavior pattern of the Sino entity and of specimens similar to her statistically leads to unfavorable and unpredictable outcomes. Hmm. I'm I was thinking if I should do the first one because I think I can't save. Damn it! When's the last save? Oh, of course, there's been no save at all. Let's go with the fourth one, I guess. Ah, I do not think monkey whips are more fearsome than the torture of the Dark City. That is not enough, but at least the Xenos will be taught a lesson. A lesson that will fully sink in. Pain can heal a human soul, but what about the Xenos? I have no answer for that. I thought that we're about to talk about uh, Mazrai, but whatever. For now, I know Irlat will hate us, but what can I say? Uh, okay, got it. Um, yeah? No, no. Okay, I won't stay for long, honestly, but let's see, let's talk to some people and see if there's anything interesting. No, you have nothing to say. Argenta?
Greetings.
Nothing. Nothing? Ah, there you are, Ulfar.
Broke free the bold from captors grasping. Dark cities, feeble dungeons, eternally disgracing. Flows now this saga in the hall of glorious feasting, where all extol the wolf mighty and the yet fatter cunning. I hope you're not going to put off the feast. Our escape demands a grand celebration.
Yeah, what are you planning to do with your newly acquired freedom?
Find my pack. As we speak, they are likely performing some bloody service for Calcazar. For that reason, I want to have a word with the Inquisitor.
Okay.
Fenris Hilda, et Vater.
T-posing servitors. Oh, there you are.
Rogue trader. Ask your questions. I will decide which is worthy of an answer.
Mhm.
The Draken is the first among the blades of the Cabal of the Reaving Tempest, and the Drukhari who stands but one rung below the Archon. The Draken leads raids and wages wars against other Cabals, keeps the arrogant true-born and half-born upstarts at bay, and has the pick of any opponent in any battle. Irimaris used to have others in her inner circle, but I ensured that they all disappeared one by one, and that their successors were too terrified to take their place. That was when my sister engaged an incubi order to serve as her bodyguards. Incubi do not respond to fear or bribes.
Yeah. What sparked the conflict between you and Ramirez?
Must there be another reason beyond survival and ambition? Kamora does not tolerate weakness. Kamora respects only strength and cunning. Either you climb upward on the corpses of your enemies, or you become one of the steps underfoot.
Yeah, how were you not there?
Keep your arrogance in check. Irimaris was clever and deadly, and if I had underestimated her abilities and strength, I would have been food for the Urgles long ago. The very fact that she surpassed me speaks for itself. I refused to give her cause to cast me out as a traitor. No, our rivalry, our little game that ran since our birth, took time. And another thing, when you're at the top, you need something to stave off boredom. This game amused us and terrorized the rest of the Cabal.
Okay. Nazarkay and Cabal of the Black Heart. What is their relationship to your Cabal?
The Cabal of the Black Heart is the most ancient of all the Cabals, and the largest. It casts a shadow over all Kamora, and when the Black Heart strikes, you submit or you die. The Reaving Tempest was not prepared to perish, so when the Black Heart's shadow stretched as far as us, Irimaris' predecessors chose to bend the knee and become their vassals.
Oh, okay.
Irimaris never liked the Cabal's subordinate position. Her words, and sometimes her actions, directed against the Black Heart, prompted whispers of discontent and fear among those who served her. I was not willing to renounce the protection of Asdrubal Vekt's own Cabal. If I had succeeded in overthrowing Irimaris with Nazrakay's aid, many within the Reaving Tempest would have supported me.
Um, okay.
Tavantius was Irimeris's ally, not mine. The Reaving Tempest is his patron, and patron also to the witches of the arena. I've had cause to seek out his artistry several times, and each time with difficulty. Of late, he's been gone from Camorra more often than he's been in it. He was probably in one of his lairs where he hides his other experiments and creations.
You have any idea where his other layers might be?
After Tivantius quarreled with the witches and was stripped of the Cabal's protection, his havens in Camorra were turned into a deadly trap. I imagine they've been ransacked and destroyed by now. His other hideouts may be somewhere in the tangle of the webway, or in real space. But that last possibility is madness even for a homunculus.
Okay. When do you have need of his expertise?
When the grotesque of a rival Cabal ripped my arm off at the shoulder, when I needed a substance to wring the truth out of you in the Obsidian Court, when I had personal desires that only a master of flesh could satisfy.
I don't want to know. As a character, not me, of course.
An amusing example of a primitive mind. Any Drukhari towers over any monkey, and we do not conceal our attitude to livestock, but my Cabalite kin. Every one of them should be treated with caution, and those who have already demonstrated their power and might are a deadly threat in their own right. I do not revel in submission. I accept things
Yeah,
as they
we'll
are.
see about that.
And I wait until a point of weakness reveals itself and calls to my blade.
Call yourself a Trueborn, what does that mean?
It is a caste in Camorra. Noble Drukhari born under certain circumstances. Their cradle before birth was not an amniotic gestational tube, but a living womb. Carrying a fetus for such a lengthy term is as good as a death sentence for a female Drukhari. She is too vulnerable to her enemy's attacks, and she is of no use on a raid. In Camorra, only the most powerful Drukhari, who are able to surround themselves with the best protection, can allow themselves such an extravagance.
Okay.
Farkaza Aziriesh, poisoner of Azdrujar, and Shaimish's elect, was one such exalted leader of the Drukhari. The result was worth the effort.
You speak low Gothic. Knowing your kind, I cannot believe that you learned it willingly.
It was a punishment. One of my raids was not as successful as it should have been, and Irimeris ordered Tavantius to forcibly implant the knowledge of the repulsive monkey language into my mind. Supposedly so that I could at least benefit the Cabal by coaxing the monkey into their cages. 5 days I spent under a cerebral burner in the Spire's main hall. To the delight of Irimeris' entourage, I dislocated every joint, struggling in agony against my shackles.
Oh.
But I would endure it all again to expel this poison from my head.
I have numerous titles, I recall. Tell me about them.
Eviscerator of Illyridas,
Oh my god,
Blaze of
that's
the
a lot.
Barkag Kingdom, and Slayer of Corocius the Pale. Illyridas was a world inhabited by our distant Eldari cousins, until I led a reaping raid there. The Barkag Kingdom was a separate cluster on the fringes of Camorra before it went to war with the Reaving Tempest, and by the time I left, I was wading through the blood of its inhabitants. And lastly, Corocius the Pale. He was an ancient homunculus who betrayed the Aziriesh at the behest of another Cabal. That was not a military victory, but a personal one. In his attempts to make himself invincible, Carocious had sown inside himself the deadliest creatures from the depths of Camorra. It did not save him. I cut out every one of his 8 hearts and sent them to his former coven as a warning to the rest.
I see.
Are you sure?
Yeah, I do think so. Well, okay, tell me more about
What
your camp.
exactly do you want to know?
Mm-hmm.
In all ways, the Asuriani are feeble shadows of our ancestors. We are their true inheritors. The Asuriani hide from she who thirsts behind their paths, relying on the visions of their precious far-seers, or blind to the reality around them. We Drukhari laugh in the face of the unknown. We thrive off the carnage and pain we inflict.
I knew about that last part. Yeah.
Because the ecstasy of suffering is the highest form of pleasure, accessible only to superior beings. By your very nature, creatures like you are incapable of knowing such gratification.
You lied. Drukhari cannot survive and escape the pool of chaos except by feeding off the suffering of others.
Careful. My tolerance for such remarks will run out eventually, even given your depressingly simplistic mind and non-existent instinct for self-preservation.
Mm-hmm. Fuck you. Why do the Drukhari hide in the webway? Why not live in real space?
Watch it. It is Monkey who run and hide, not our kin. Camorra is the legacy of our ancestors. They found a way to penetrate the tangle of the webway and move through its twisting labyrinths. Few would hazard to travel in this splintered kingdom, let alone erect bastions in it. The Drukhari are the only Eldari who do not fear the horrors of the webway. For every peril we overcome makes us stronger.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Okay. I keep hearing about Vact, tell me.
No. No one speaks of the Overlord of Camorra without good reason. Amusing you is certainly not reason enough.
Oh, okay.
Perhaps. What else?
What do you plan to do next?
I must adapt to my new circumstances. And to this bucket that you monkey call a void ship. These alloy bulkheads. So primitive.
Yeah, sure. I'll leave.
Then go.
We'll see what happens at the first fucking void travel. We've seen how Girat handles that. We'll see about you as well.
Lord Captain.
No, okay. Fine, almost. Yes, numbers remember. You brought us data sustenance and it contained the name Epitaph. We recognized it. No, not like that. In the name, we recognized the place where Nomos originate. Okay. No, that's the same. I mean, it's the same entity, so what am I even expecting? Okay, new world. But we have to go there personally. Okay. Problems with captains? unknown problems. Okay. We will also get back to, trading because it's needed.
You are spoiling me with the splendor of...
No,
Oh,
okay. Pascal, anything to say? No. Able? No. Didn't mean to pause there. Here, that is over there. Idira. Yeah. Nope.
No, Lord Captain, not a thing. And I'm...
I mean, of course, we haven't gone anywhere.
The Dark City released us from its thorny embrace. The wounds of the body will heal. But what about the wounds of the soul? Crudarach fell, and its demise shattered the fragile lives of countless children of Osirian. Scattered across this part of the galaxy, hounded by the monkey, pursued by the Dark Cousins, imprisoned by the servants of She Who Thirsts. Hatred is strangling me like a snake, and fear is coursing through my body like a burning poison. For the path I chose is leading me down the roads of failure. I can neither hold back my grief nor rein in my anger. And yet,
Yeah, of course.
I am
That was the
powerless
situation.
to stray
That's
from my path.
the result, of course.
Pay no heed to my fleeting wrath, Alantark. When the will slips away, the soul trembles with rampant emotions. But I will resign my heart to meekness, for there is no other way a marked outcast can help their fellow Eldari wandering in the dark.
Many terrible things happened in Comorem. Are you alright?
I found myself in the Dark City after following the twisted roads of truth and lies. And although the truth blossomed like an ugly bud and scratched my soul with its thorns, I did find the answers to my questions. Those who come back from the dark of the webway will never be the same. But it is we who change while the surrounding world remains imminent. This thought gives me strength.
Okay. I did not really catch what you mean, but okay. Kurdrach suffered an inevitable fate. I am sorry, an enviable fate. I'm sorry your word was lost.
I have no need for your sympathy, Alantark. Besides, neither Monkey nor my dark kin found the decaying remnants of Crudarach. Perhaps all is not lost. Perhaps we may yet bring back what has been taken.
What will happen to the seer now?
As soon as Eklendil gathers his strength, he will depart the Lilithon through the Webway Gate. Do not ask where his path takes him. He follows the road of his own destiny. It is as it should be.
Okay. So where will your path lead you now?
On the trail of a monkey called Caligos Winterscale. Even a worm may harm a wounded tiger by bringing infection into an open wound. And the wounds of my people have been bleeding ever since Crudarach's demise. The spirits of my kin need a poultice, a hope, not the executioner's sword already poised to fall. You may try.
Okay. Okay, guys. No, wait. There's still Henrix. I was forgetting about that.
To what do I owe this visit?
No, there's nothing else. Okay. Save. Guys, this is it for today. Thank you all for joining me, and tomorrow we will continue with Dragon's Dogma. Goodbye, everyone. Have a good one.